The classic question, when to trade in your car? Short answer, there's no hard and fast rule. People think that when you hit a specific mileage or the car is exactly X many months old, that somehow magically you're gonna get the best returns. But if that were true, we wouldn't botch it nearly as often. And this video probably wouldn't need to exist. See, normally what happens is we see like some scary warning light or get a massive repair bill, freak out and give CarMax a call. The question stops being, what is this worth? And more just, how fast can I get out of this thing? Problem is, that's when you lose all the leverage. If the car is days away from needing repairs that'll put it underwater, you're gonna roll over and accept whatever pittance the dealership throws your way. And now to be clear, this isn't because people are stupid or anything, it's because trading in always costs money. You'll need to pick up another car, and that means a new depreciation curve, probably new payments. Naturally, people don't want to do that until they absolutely have to, but therein lies the trap, you see, because the worst trade-ins don't happen too early, they happen too late. So how do you know when you're about to lose control of the decision and act before that happens? Well, let me introduce you to the 3 clocks. So I'm sure that there's some official term here, but this is what I've just always used to get the best value out of my own trade-ins. Every car you own has 3 ticking clocks, and when 2 of them cross midnight, that's your cue to trade it in. The first is the clearest, depreciation, right? The second you drive it off the lot, the car loses up to 20% of its value. By the end of year 1, that's as high as 30%. The second is maintenance risk. How likely is it that the car is gonna start costing serious money just to keep it on the road? The third is a bit more metaphysical. I call it life fit. That's whether whatever you bought the car for in the first place is still in need. Like, let's say you got a fancy 2-seater coupe, but your wife is pregnant with triplets. That kind of thing. And again, the time to pull the trigger is when 2 out of the 3 are timed out. Because if depreciation is brutal, but the car is dead reliable, trading early just resets the clock and costs you money. And if the car is fully depreciated, but still predictable and fits your life, there's no rush to get rid of it either. But when the car isn't worth much and it's starting to feel risky, or it still has value, but it no longer fits what you need to do, or if you got a big expense coming along and you're deciding whether to pay it or just walk away, that's the window where you should start getting some quotes. But importantly, it's still just an option. You can choose, shop around, and take your time. Now, let's go through each part of this one by one so you can get a better feel of it in your own car. And we'll start off with depreciation because this is where a lot of bad advice tends to come from. Look, cars lose value, everyone knows that, but it's not just a straight line downward. New cars, yes, they will plummet in value, sometimes losing tens of thousands every single year, whether you drive it or not. So if you trade it in too early, all you're really doing is resetting that clock. You take the biggest depreciation hit and then start it all over again on the next car. Do that a few times and you end up stuck in a brutal death spiral. In fact, there's actually some scary data that backs this up. People who replace cars frequently end up with some of the highest total ownership costs over time. And that ain't just bad luck, they're doing it to themselves. After a while, that curve will start to flatten out, and that's why the go-to window you usually hear is 3 to 5 years. But, and this is important, that's not the end-all be-all, okay? It's just the first point where you won't be drowning by pulling the trigger. The real question isn't how old the car is, it's how much value is still left to lose. And you can only really evaluate that once you look at the next clock on our list. Maintenance risk. Okay, now this is the clock that kind of gets people in trouble because most cars don't fall apart overnight, they kind of ease into it. Early on, maintenance is usually cheap and boring. Oil changes, tires, brakes, the stuff you expect. But eventually things will start to snowball. You'll hear the mechanics say things like, while we're in there, or, you'll need this soon anyway. The clock is officially speeding up. And an important distinction, maintenance risk isn't about what the car needs right now. It's about how confident you are in what it's gonna need next. Because a car can be running perfectly fine and still be risky. Like maybe a major service interval is coming up. Or you still got a totally original suspension and the internet says it's destined to fail soon. So you stop trusting the car the same way. You start listening for noises, freak out over long drives. It's similar to like an original roof on an old house. Every day feels like you're playing with fire, every snowstorm a silent prayer. But importantly, nothing has exploded quite yet. And that's a big part of leverage, because a car that runs well, has no warning lights, and doesn't need anything right now can be sold clean and for good money. A car that's days away from a major repair absolutely cannot. Trust me, dealers will know the difference immediately. Now, there is a bit of a, I guess, gambler's fallacy going on here. Don't get trapped into the mindset of, well, I've already put money into it, I might as well keep going. That does not make the next repair any cheaper, okay? The money is gone. Just accept it. The longer you wait, the more likely it is that this turns from a choice into a forced decision. Be it a failed inspection or a breakdown, your trade-in value can disappear overnight. So again, this is not about bailing at the first repair. That's how you waste money. It's about recognizing when maintenance stops being predictable. Because once you lose predictability, you lose leverage. No leverage means terrible returns. Now, there is one more clock that has nothing to do with spreadsheets or service intervals, but it matters just as much, because sometimes the car isn't failing, but it just doesn't fit anymore. You bought a car for a specific reason, like getting around a city or hauling a dozen kids or doing track days or something. But the thing about life is it's not stagnant and it's not predictable. You bought a place out in the suburbs and now you're stuck in rush hour traffic in a smart car. The kids are all in college and now you're an empty nester getting 10 miles to the gallon. The doc says you need back surgery and whipping a sports car at high speeds is a no-go anymore. On paper, the car still works. And naturally, a lot of people will talk themselves out of trading it in because it doesn't feel justifiable. There's no warning light to point at, no big repair bill to blame, nothing is technically wrong, but this is where you really just need to be honest with yourself, because even if it isn't hurting your wallet, it's costing you in other ways. Stress, time, annoyance, that stuff adds up. And while you're waiting for a real reason, the other clocks, they're not just gonna stop. The car keeps depreciating, maintenance is getting pricier, eventually something is gonna force the issue, and now you just lost a bunch of value while being kind of miserable. See, there's more to owning a car than just whether it's running or not. And really, it is okay to take the hit to get another vehicle that will actually fit your life, not hurt it. So let's get back to the question we started with. When is the best time to trade in a car? And while there's no perfect answer, there is a clear first step. Get quotes before you're even thinking of pulling the trigger, because most people will wait until they've already decided they need to trade in the car before they even ever check what it's worth. Something breaks or life forces a change or a new model comes out and it's no longer the hottest thing on the block. Only then do they start looking at offers, calling dealers, pricing out replacements. I'm sorry, that's just too late. The smart move is seeing what the market says now and understanding the value when you're not staring at a deadline. Then when 2 out of those 3 clocks start to run down, you already know your options and you're not making the decision under pressure. Because the best time to trade in a car isn't the moment you need to get rid of it. It's before the decision gets made for you. So hopefully this helped you get a bit clearer of an idea on how to plan your trade-in, because I see a lot of people getting stuck waiting for the right reason and end up trading at the worst possible time. Knowing when to act and when to just start paying attention matters more than any mileage number ever will. If you want more videos like this, buyer's guides, ownership stuff, cool stories about cars, let me know down in the comments, and it would be amazing if you could like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm really loving getting to talk to y'all about all this stuff, and knowing it's helping is what keeps me going. Take care, everybody. I will see you in the next one.